Miami! To mission control, we have liftoff. Phinhub! Phinhub! We talking Dolphin City! Phinhub, Phinhub! Yeah! It's that Dolphin Show! Phinhub!
Welcome to the Phinhub Show, the one NFL podcast you can't leave off your roster. Now here's your hosts, Joe and Kevin DeHale.
All right. Welcome into another episode of the Phinhub Show, brought to you by BetUS. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure to check out BetUS. They're having a crazy promotion right now. By typing in code YouTube150, you are given a 150% bonus on your first 3 deposits for up to $2,000. So make sure to check out BetUS and use code YouTube150. All right, so we're going to start off with the elephant in the room. We've given it some time now before we get into this discussion on Tua and his latest concussion. We thought it would be best to wait on it and wait for some real news to come out. Obviously, devastating to the Miami Dolphins, to Tua, possibly his career. And it's not something that, to take lightly in any situation, whether you're for Tua or against Tua. Mm-hmm. Just a huge blow to the Dolphins for the season. But all is not lost. All hope is not lost. And that's something that, first glance when it happened, I was devastated and I was thinking, this is it. Chalk it up for his career, chalk it up for the season. Dolphins, what are we doing? Are we drafting young? Are we trading? What's going on with the Dolphins? But after giving it a little bit of time to really think about it, look, all hope is not lost. We've heard some takes from we've heard takes from everybody on what Tua should be doing with his career, what he should be doing with his life. And at the end of the day, what really matters is what Tua wants and what the doctors see as fit for him going forward.
I think it would be so wrong of me to even sniff that subject, and it's more in line of actually caring about the human being, and that's something that entirely, you're talking about his career, right? His career is his. And that's something that I think I just really, really, really wish. I totally understand it, and it's not misplaced. I totally get how that's where people want to go to. I just wish that people would for a second hear what I'm saying, that bringing up his future is not in the best interest of him. So, I'm going to plead with everybody that that does genuinely care, that should be the last thing on your mind, because you don't, what do you think that's, if I would answer that question, I'd be like, all right, this is my thoughts on his career. And he read it. If he agreed with it or he disagreed with it, either way, I've just made him worse. So I'm not taking this opportunity to just not, I don't think it's appropriate, simply because of my care and regard. And I don't think those types of conversations, when you're talking about somebody's career, I think it probably is only fair that their career should be decided by them.
The takes that we're receiving now from doctors, it seems like everything is going to be okay for Tua. He should return to baseline, and it's in his hands now. And the risk he's willing to take for his career, does he want that? And Tua has now said that he has no plans on retiring. So he's going to be here. He's going to be a Miami Dolphin for a while, and he's our franchise quarterback. Whether you like Tua or don't like Tua, he's here to stay. And I don't know. I don't know if that's the best decision for him. Who am I to judge? Who am I to say if it is? I'm not a doctor. I'm not close to Tua. I'm a Miami Dolphin fan, and love Tua's game. He didn't have a great performance against the Bills, and I think there's, that's a side thing to go over. I think there was some other things going on aside from Tua's play that resulted in his stats looking absolutely atrocious. But what were your initial reactions to Tua's concussion?
Devastated. That is the word. Initially, as Dolphins fans, as fans of the sport entirely, NFL, I feel like all fans are the same, and the fact that we tend to overreact to certain things. I mean, granted, overreaction in that case is something granted. I mean, it's something that, of course, it's a natural reaction because, seeing Tua go out again, it's kind of like we have PTSD from that Bengals Thursday night football game, which is something I feel like the NFL really does have to look into these Thursday night football games because the quick turnaround, I'm not saying that it happens to every single player, but for it to happen again to Tua on a Thursday night football game, it might lead. There might be something behind that, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire, and I think it's definitely something they need to look into. But yeah, man. Quick thoughts. Overreacted at first, but looking at the schedule, looking forward, I think if we can get solid play from as a team for the next couple weeks, I do think there's light at the end of the tunnel. I think we can maybe, put some water on this fire, maybe get it a little bit, manageable at this point.
Yeah, I think there's still hope for this team, and a lot has been made about Tua and what he's doing with his career and if he's going to retire. And I think as a fan of football, we kind of if you're only looking at football from a football perspective and not as any other kind of, or not from the perspective of any other sports, take for example combat sports. Mm-hmm. I think that's something that you're fairly knowledgeable on, and these guys get hit in the head for a living. I think mid-fight, there's fighters being concussed, getting up from the canvas, having to go again, and having to keep fighting, getting hit in the head again. So we're looking at it from a football perspective, and it's scary to see that on the field. It's scary to see someone, I think it's, posturing? Mm-hmm. Posturing on the field where, you get stuck. It's a scary sight. Yeah. But the reality of the situation is that in other sports, aside from the posturing's like, it's the scariest thing to see. But in other sports, boxing, the UFC,
it happens and it's celebrated.
It happens and it's celebrated, and not only that, a lot of the times these guys get concussed mid-fight and they keep going.
Yeah. So perfect example is boxing, right? They're concussed, getting that 10-second countdown. You know what I'm saying? They're still recovering. They're woozy. They get up, good to go. Yeah, they're still concussed and get maybe another 10 blows to the head at least. You know what I'm saying? Because the guy's like backing him down in the corner, just wailing on him, And then maybe they get out of that round and we go on to another round, and then the guy gets concussed again, maybe gets knocked down again. So not to say that is a reason that Tua has to be out there and it's not a big deal, but it is something that's it's not uncommon. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
I think it's just looking at things from a different perspective. I'm not saying that Tua should continue his career. That's his decision to make. Again, we're not doctors. We don't know what he should be doing or shouldn't be doing. We don't know exactly the extent of the injuries or why he's. At this point, from what I've heard, he's not more prone, or once he returned to baseline, he's not more prone to concussions than anyone else. But I would argue that just from the eye test or just from what we're seeing, it does seem that Tua is more prone to concussions than most people would be.
But you've been friends with Tua for a long time. Your reaction to what he's going through right now.
Yeah, man, it's always sad when you see your guy go down like that. But yeah, we play a dangerous game, man. I think that the whole world get to see how dangerous this game is and how everybody put their body on the line week in and week out. And yeah.
look, again, we're not doctors. I'm not telling you or telling anybody what Tua should be doing with his career. But we are looking at it from a different perspective as far as combat sports and what they get paid to do for a living, which is literally getting hit in the head. Tyler Huntley being poached now from the Ravens practice squad. And that's an interesting prospect, more of an athletic quarterback, something we haven't had in some time in the Miami Dolphins. But a guy that can work a little bit outside the pocket. He's maybe not the best under pressure, but he had a Pro Bowl season last season. So that's the year before last. So he's that's a cool pickup for the Dolphins. I'm excited to see what he could do for us.
Yeah, I think as far as what we need right now, I think he would be the best option to start. Obviously, he doesn't know the offense yet, so Scott's going to get the go. You know, just a guy that can, I guess, mitigate this bad offensive line play, can roll out of the pocket, can make really nice throws outside of the pocket as well. I would like to see him out there. I don't think we're going to get to be honest with you. But yeah, I think it's a decent signing. I think it's actually really nice. Maybe he can stick around, learn the playbook, maybe be our backup next year. But yeah, I think it's a good signing, and yeah, there's not really much else to say about it, you know?
Right. So I feel like from here where the Miami Dolphins are going, it's just trying to keep this, because all signs are pointing towards Tua returning to the Dolphins lineup in the near future. So the Dolphins are just going to have to stay steady the ship until he returns. Hopefully we can pick up some wins against, I think, the next 3 games.
Well, I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
So the next few games, it's Seattle, right?
Right.
At Seattle. You saw them this week. They just played the Patriots. They struggled against the Patriots.
Right.
Like they barely snuck out a win against them. I personally think we're a better team than the Patriots. I think even taking our quarterback out of the equation, I still think we're a better team than the Patriots. Do you think that we can squeeze out a win against this team? I mean, okay, the way our roster is constructed, the coaching as well, right? We should win this game.
Right.
And then on top of that, so let's just say we win that game, right?
Right.
We're 2-1. Then we go Monday Night Football against the Titans. Do you think we should win that game as well?
We should.
Okay.
We should. The thing is, from what I'm seeing, I think we may have overhyped our team coming into this season. I was very excited with the roster, very excited with the coaching, obviously. But I'm not seeing the production I thought I would see. And I'm not sure the reason for that. I know we're still banged up, which it's crazy because it's the beginning of the season. But I thought there would be a little bit more firepower here. And I'm seeing the offense struggle. I think the play calling has lacked.
I just think it's really early in the season. We're still trying to figure out what we're doing. Cause for panic or too much concern. I think we just need to keep going through the motions. I think the defense is going to start picking it up. Things are going to start clicking. On top of it, the offense, I think our main problem was the guard position. Yeah. And it was super evident last game. Rob Jones looked like complete trash. I'm sorry. I know that sounds a little harsh, but it was terrible offensive line play. So not to blame that on Tua's bad performance, but I do think that it contributed. I think things couldn't develop. I think Mike McDaniel with his play calling was terrible. Yeah. Honestly, I think you weren't countering what the Bills were giving you, right? So 2 safeties high. And why weren't we taking whatever we can get in the middle of the field, up front, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't understand why we kept going for certain things. Throwing to guys like Dubois or Dubois, I don't know how to say his name. And on top of that, another guy like Robbie Chosen that hasn't been here the whole offseason, and then he comes in and he's brought up from the practice squad. He's getting key moments in the game to get the ball thrown to.
Yeah.
Is not in the right spot, which contributed to one of those interceptions. And the first interception, and I promise you I'm not making excuses for Tua, but there is context to these interceptions, right?
I would say those first 2 interceptions
we're not on him.
Well, I wouldn't say they were on Tua.
No.
Which is, yeah.
So Chosen wasn't in the right spot. Tua's throwing to a spot. That's an interception. Tua throws to Grant Dubois, whatever his name is. I still don't know how to say it. Right in his chest, and it pops up, and it's a pick, right? So the guy doesn't look on time, doesn't
I think that's
react.
Just mismanagement there. Those guys shouldn't be in the game. you know?
They shouldn't, but they need to be in the game because at this point we're so depleted at wide receiver, and I know it sounds crazy to say because we have a guy like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, but they can't be on the field all the time, right?
I think that we're not using, like, look, Tanner Connor was available, Jonnu Smith was available, Julian Hill was available, and they're not receivers, but they know the playbook. Why don't you switch it up for the personnel that you have that you can trust?
But how about Ezukama? Like what's up with him? Is he that hurt? Like he's on the practice squad, right? There's a guy that's been with our team for 3 years, has seen this playbook for 3 years. He's not ready to go. Like, yeah, I don't understand what's going on there.
I can't imagine a world which, hey, look, the coaching staff, they're seeing something that we're not seeing. Mm-hmm. How is Robbie chosen over Ezukanma to be elevated? That's something I don't understand. So there has to be something there with Ezukanma that we just don't see. Yeah. So he may actually be injured. Yeah. You know, which is crazy because he just stays injured.
Yeah. So there's context behind why we are, I guess, not playing to our full potential right now. Also, losing Raheem Mostert already that early into the season for even one game. Mm-hmm. It's against the Bills, right? He could have been an important piece of this offense as well. I mean, maybe he could have gotten some runs out of it. But let's provide the context, right? No Malik Washington, no Odell Beckham, no River Craycraft. Our line's already pretty banged up. You know, our starting left guard's not in there.
Our secondary left guard gets hurt against the Bills.
And it sucks because we're already making excuses, right? But our team is better than what we are showing. And Bradley Chubb, we're still expecting him to come back. So there is a world that if we can squeeze out these wins, right, against the Seahawks, against the Titans, and then I'm pretty sure we play the Patriots after that. Mm-hmm. If we can win those games, let's say we're 4-1. Yeah. Go into the bye week. Come out of the bye week. Let's say Tua doesn't play that game as well. It's against the Colts. I think that's another winnable game. Yeah. Maybe we're 5-1. Maybe Tua's coming back. Maybe we got Odell Beckham back. We get River Craycraft back. Malik Washington's finally not injured. Bradley Chubb.
Yeah, there's reinforcements coming into the picture when Tua comes back.
Now we're looking at a completely different scenario. Maybe we're just over exaggerating how bad this thing really is. We just got to get through week 3, right? Let's see what happens week 3. Maybe our team looks fantastic and we're like, okay, man, we could do this for a few games without Tua, and then when he comes back, we're just rolling again. You know what I'm saying? And whatever. I mean, I don't know. I think there's reason for optimism. So I'm excited about it.
Okay. Yeah, I felt the same way. Initially, obviously, after seeing the whole thing with Tua, wow, it was tragedy. Just that's it. You know, my whole Dolphins world came to an end. But being a few days removed now from it, things are looking a little bit different, a little bit more optimistic, and
there was a lot of concern, right? Because we were like, man, imagine if he retires. Like, I want Tua to be the quarterback for this team, right? And if he decides he wanted to retire, I would understand. But if he wants to play, I also understand, right? You don't want to go out like that. No. I mean, you play a terrible game against a team that you are notorious like losing against, right? And you want to prove something to the NFL. You want to show you can win. You just signed that massive contract, so you're proving your worth. Now, as a quarterback, this is something he's done his whole life.
Tua just needs to get back to what he did last season. I think the idea of becoming a more mobile quarterback, live to see another down, live to see another drive. Like,
he should have slid on that play.
He should have slid. He should have slid. But these are things like we don't understand where Tua's head's at that moment. He's in the pocket. Because QBs are aware of where the first down is, but he's in the pocket.
I can tell you exactly what happened.
He's going through his progression. Then he tucks the ball in, starts to run. At that point, you don't know where the first down mark is. Like he put his head in so he can make sure to get that.
Something that people are forgetting as well is that once you start sliding, as soon as you initiate the slide, that's where the ball is down. It's not where you end up, right? So Tua probably in that moment, he's like, if I slide, if I'm half an inch short or a yard, whatever the case may be, your adrenaline's going. You're just trying to get that to that line, right? Which the line's not shown on the field. I know we see it on TV, but it's not shown.
Right.
It's only to the right or the left that you can see the line. You're just trying to get past that. So he's like, I'm going head first because that's where the ball is going to end up, you know?
Right.
So if he would have given himself up too early, then people are talking about how much of a bonehead he is because he didn't get the first down. You know what I'm saying? So I understand he didn't think he would get knocked out on that play. He even braced himself. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it wasn't even a hard hit. That's the weird thing about it. So it's
maybe he took a hit before that
whatever the case.
Got something. I mean, we don't know enough about this whole thing, right? Concussions and how they happen. We do know it's a blow to the head, but it's like exactly what force or what, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
It's all complicated. The scientific part of it, I really don't understand it, and I don't think that's for us to understand. We just have to wait to see what the doctors now say. I think Tua's seeing some specialists now to get the final word. But he's going to be back this season at some point, and if the Dolphins can steady the ship until he returns, maybe we can be maybe we're still up for the division, which I think we underestimated.
It's too early not to be up for the division.
I think we underestimated the Bills. I think we underestimated the Patriots. I'm not saying that the Patriots are, close to being in contention for the division, but I think the Patriots are a lot better than a lot of people gave them credit for. They could have easily been 2-0 going into week 3. So that's an interesting tidbit for the AFC East. But, let's see what happens with Tua. Let's see what happens with the Dolphins. We signed Tyler Huntley. Probably not going to see a lot of playing time. But you never know. Maybe he does some crazy things in practice, and maybe Skyler is just a complete flop, which is possible too. And he may be out there maybe second half of week 3. Hopefully not.
Yeah, so just one more quick question. What do you think the outcome of these games are going to be? Like, do you think that we have a chance to win these games, or
to be completely honest,
you have no idea?
I have no clue what we're going to see on Sunday. No clue. I don't know what to expect.
If I had to guess, seeing the Seahawks play the last 2 weeks, I've watched it. They didn't look too impressive against the Broncos or the Patriots. Those are two teams that are supposed to be bad, right?
But then again, have you been impressed with the Dolphins' play against the Jaguars or the Bills?
The Jaguars, yeah.
You were impressed?
I was impressed
with that second half.
Yeah, exactly. It was a perfect second half. We shut them out in the second half. Tua played fantastic in the second half.
Well, so then in the 4 halves that we've played so far, we've had one good half. You get what I'm saying?
I understand, but still, I mean, we showed something rather than nothing, right? Because that Jaguars game we shouldn't have won, in my opinion. So the fact that we were able to win it, Jaguars are a way better team, in my opinion, than the Seahawks.
Right.
And I think they're a way better team than the Patriots, which the Seahawks and the Patriots just played. I mean, it's just my logic.
Yeah, you're going. I get what you're doing.
I'm comparing them, but we got to see. That's my optimism speaking. By the way,
that's why I'm saying I don't know what to expect from the Dolphins going against the Seahawks, because I don't know what to expect from Skyler, and I don't know what to expect for the line.
Yeah.
The injury concerns, like, I love Devon Achane, but how can we continue running the ball with him like this? Like, he's great, but he's not a big dude. Like, I don't think he should be a bell cow back. Like, he's not that guy.
Yeah, but he's essential to this offense right now, especially without Tua. So I don't think we're gonna run him into the ground, but I think we do he needs to get as many touches as he can, because he is a home run waiting to happen, just like Tyreek and Waddle are. So
if the Dolphins are going to be using Achane like that, I think that they need to maybe go the route of trying to get him the ball in open space, like more of as a receiver.
The screen game
and then
all that.
Inject Jalen Wright finally, but like with a good amount of carries, because then essentially you have like a mini Devon Achane, and who knows, maybe this guy's even better than what we expect. But
we will see a little bit more of Jalen Wright, because Jeff Wilson's out.
Okay,
he's injured. So
look at that.
Yeah.
This team is something else, man.
It's definitely something. It's a cause for concern, all these injuries. But I mean, I don't know what it is. Maybe a string of bad luck, or
you just got to ride. You know, it is
Yeah.
what it is. But anyway, if you guys haven't checked out BetUS, remember to use code YouTube150 for 150% bonus on your first 3 deposits for up to $2,000. That's code YouTube150 on BetUS. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Phinhub Show. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Fins up.